So in the previous video, I had mentioned that when you initially open your account and are investing, Lending Club will try to group together a number of different notes based on varying interest rates and grades. And the shortcut to that, if you open your account and don't initially invest, you click on Invest up here, and what it'll do is it'll build. And this is interesting. So I did this off camera, and actually the highest option I had on option 3, unless a really high interest note had closed, in the last 5 minutes. This was actually 22%. And so you can kind of see the varying options they give you. Option 1 being you go very low risk, probably all grade A or grade B notes, all the way up to option C, you're going to take the highest risk along with the highest interest. I would suggest not doing this just based on what I'd mentioned in the previous video about some of the funding didn't even come through, and it was just really difficult to try to fully invest my starting balance in a very efficient way. So the best way to do this, you can either click on, they'll show you there's currently 616 notes on the site, or you can come up here and click on Browse Notes. And what this will do, this will show you every note that is available for investing on the website. And you can see all the varying reasons, vacation property, car financing, home improvement, but the majority you see either credit card refinancing or debt consolidation. So what you probably have is people that have a very high interest rate on a credit card. They're coming here, and even at 11%, 12%, whatever interest rate they're getting, it's probably a better deal than what they're currently paying. This is can be very time consuming when you do it this way, but the best way to do this is use these filters over here, and you can get very detailed in terms of say you want to only invest in people that are local to your state. You can do that. You can filter out certain notes based on the state. You can look for keyword if there's I haven't dug as deep in my current notes that I'm invested in. If there is a certain purpose for the loan that generated higher percentage or higher dollar amount, those are two numbers you really want to look at. That just means more payments over a longer period of time and better interest return for you. So you can do keyword, you can do interest rate. They make it pretty easy here with all of the different grade of the notes. The terms, like I mentioned before, it's only 36 month or 60 month. But if you click on this more filters, this will pop up. And the things you want to pay attention to here, obviously all the ones that are already checked are the ones we just went over. But the things that I found out were, you want to look at funding progress, and what you really want to keep an eye on. You can really go into detail in terms of their current credit history. How much are they verified income, all of that kind of thing. The other thing that I like to look at is the listing expiration, and we'll just go with those two for now. So funding progress, I probably want to be closer to the end of the funding. It doesn't really matter when you invest. If you're the first investor, the only time it would really matter is if you want to invest more than $25. You can invest the whole amount in one loan, which is not very good. You're not diversifying at that point. Or you could say, I want to invest $100 in each note. So if you started, for example, with a $1,000 balance and you did $100 in 10 different notes. So, you know, really looking towards the end of the funding, if you want to consolidate all of your notes to a very close payment date, is why I suggest doing that. And listing expires in kind of is correlated with your funding progress, but I would say you probably want to go 7 days or less, just for the simple fact of if someone's already 80% and they're 3 days or less, you run the risk of the listing expires, they don't get 100% of their funding, you know, and then you're back to square one. So you hit update results, it'll process all of that. And so what it really comes down to is we only have 36-month term notes to invest in. And the other thing is, I had clicked on all, which is interesting. Okay, so there's only A grade notes to invest in. So at this point, if I didn't want to do that, I can just reset all of them. And if I wanted to look at a particular, if I want to say, you know what, you know, I have $25 in my account that I can currently invest with. I want to look at all the D grade, aka higher interest rate notes that are available, and then really look at you know, consolidating down from there. And you know, when you're looking to do this, it's pretty simple. You can click multiple notes. As obviously it's saying I don't have enough cash because I only have just under $50, but you can do this all in one. They just add to order, you know, it processes it, and you know, as soon as the funding reaches 100%, as long as your listing isn't expired, you know, you're all set, you're earning money. And what I'll show you in the next video is just a wrap up of how, you know, to kind of maintain your account once everything is invested, and then also the advantages of receiving principal and interest from multiple notes, and how to use that to your best advantage.